Have you ever seen a player who played football with a permanent smile on his face? A player who made you fall in love with the game all over again, not with goals, but with pure, unadulterated joy. Today, we're talking about a man who was more than a footballer. He was an artist, a magician, a feeling. This is the story of Ronaldinho Gaucho and the smile that changed football forever. Born Ronaldo de Assis Moreira on March 21, 1980, in the vibrant city of Porto Alegre, Brazil, his life was shaped by both love and loss from a very young age. Football was in his blood. His father, João, was a former player himself and his biggest supporter. But tragedy struck when Ronaldinho was just 8 years old. He lost his father in a sudden accident at the family swimming pool. This devastating event left a profound mark on the young boy, but it also fueled a promise. He would make it for his dad. His older brother, Roberto, who was already a promising professional player, stepped in as a father figure. He guided Ronaldinho, ensuring he stayed on the right path. It was on the tight, confined courts of futsal and the sandy beaches of Brazil that the legend of Ronaldinho began to form. Futsal, with its demand for quick thinking and even quicker feet, sharpened his skills to a razor's edge. He developed that signature close control, the lightning-fast dribbling, and the audacious flair that would later mesmerize the world. He learned to make the ball dance, to treat it not just as an object, but as a partner. It was his escape, his canvas, and his destiny. His talent was impossible to ignore. After tearing through the youth ranks at his local club, Grêmio, he made his senior debut and quickly became a sensation in Brazil. The world got its first major glimpse of his genius at the 1999 Confederations Cup. But it was in 2001 that Europe came calling. He made the big leap to Paris Saint-Germain, a move that would be the stepping stone to greatness. While his time in Paris was occasionally turbulent, filled with flashes of brilliance amidst questions about his off-field discipline, it was clear that he was a generational talent destined for the very top. The biggest clubs in the world were watching, and one in particular was about to make a move that would change the course of football history. In 2003, a struggling FC Barcelona, desperate for a hero, took a gamble on the smiling Brazilian. It wasn't just a transfer, it was a revolution. From the moment he stepped onto the Camp Nou pitch, he single-handedly revitalized the club and the city. He brought back the Joga Bonito, the beautiful game. Every touch was an event, every dribble a spectacle. He would pull off tricks in the middle of a top-flight match that others wouldn't even attempt in training. His feints, his no-look passes, his infectious energy, it was pure theater. This was Ronaldinho at his absolute peak, the undisputed best player on the planet. He led Barcelona to back-to-back La Liga titles and most famously to the 2006 Champions League trophy, the club's first in 14 years. His individual accolades piled up, culminating in the 2005 Ballon d'Or. He was so good, so universally loved, that in a match against bitter rivals Real Madrid at their own stadium, the Santiago Bernabeu, he received a standing ovation from the Madrid fans after scoring a breathtaking solo goal. That moment transcended rivalry. It was a pure appreciation of footballing genius. He was on top of the world, and it seemed the smile would last forever. But even the brightest stars eventually fade. For Ronaldinho, the decline was as swift as his rise was spectacular. The very things that made him great, his carefree spirit and love for life, began to work against him. The party lifestyle, which had always been a part of his identity, started to take its toll. Reports of late nights and a lack of focus in training became more frequent. The discipline that had once been managed by his mentors was slipping away. Injuries began to creep in, and the explosive burst of speed that allowed him to glide past defenders started to wane. His physical condition deteriorated. The player who once seemed to float above the grass now looked a step slower, a touch heavier. The magic was still there in flashes, But the consistency was gone. The smile, once a symbol of joy and confidence, now sometimes seemed to mask a deeper struggle. Barcelona, under a new, demanding coach named Pep Guardiola, decided it was time to move on, ushering in a new era of discipline and team structure. In 2008, the man who had resurrected the club was sold to AC Milan. The peak was over. His move to AC Milan in 2008 was seen as a chance for a fresh start, and for a while it was. He showed glimpses of the old Ronaldinho, linking up with fellow Brazilians and contributing to a Serie A title win in 2011. The moments of magic were still there. A perfectly weighted pass, a shimmy that left a defender for dead. But they were becoming rarer. The relentless demands of top-level European football were catching up to a body and mind that were no longer fully committed. After his time in Milan, his journey became nomadic. He returned to Brazil, first with Flamengo, and then a move that would give his career a glorious second act. He joined Atlético Mineiro in 2012, a club that wasn't among Brazil's traditional powerhouses. Many saw it as the final quiet chapter of his career. They were wrong. Free from the intense pressure of Europe, Ronaldinho rediscovered his love for the game. Playing with a hunger not seen in years, he became a leader, a mentor. He orchestrated the team's attack with the vision and creativity of his prime. In 2013, he led Atlético Mineiro to their first ever Copa Libertadores title, the most prestigious club competition in South America. The scenes of him crying tears of joy on the pitch showed just how much it meant. It was a beautiful, defiant resurgence, a reminder to the world that class is permanent. After that incredible high, his career wound down with brief stints in Mexico and back in Brazil before he officially announced his retirement in 2018. But the story doesn't end there. Post-retirement life brought unforeseen challenges. Always generous to a fault and perhaps too trusting, Ronaldinho faced significant financial difficulties. This culminated in a bizarre and shocking incident in 2020. He and his brother were arrested in Paraguay for attempting to enter the country with falsified passports. The image of one of football's most beloved figures being held in a Paraguayan prison was surreal and heartbreaking. He spent over a month incarcerated before being released. It was a startling low point, a stark contrast to the adoration he had received on the world's biggest stages. So what is the legacy of Ronaldinho? It's complicated. It's a story of dizzying heights and shocking lows, a story of a talent so immense it seemed almost divine, but also a cautionary tale about the fragility of greatness. But when we think of Ronaldinho, we don't primarily think of the missteps. We think of the joy. We think of the elasticos, the step-overs, the no-look passes. We remember a player who reminded us that football, at its core, is supposed to be fun. He wasn't just a winner, he was an entertainer. He didn't just play the game, he performed it. He may not have the record-breaking statistics of a Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo, but his impact is just as profound. He was the gateway for a whole generation of fans, the reason so many of us fell in love with the beautiful game. He was the smile that conquered the world, and for that, he will forever be a legend. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the lives of football's greatest icons. Let us know in the comments your favorite Ronaldinho moment. We'll see you in the next one.